All right, good morning, guys. I hope everybody's doing well. I appreciate you taking the time to join me this morning. We're going to do kind of a follow-up lesson to what we did last time, talking about different types of government, except this time we're going to talk about something called systems of government and economic systems. For those of you that haven't done so already, please go into your civics class, and if you look here, there are two documents. One of them is a presentation that I'm going to go through with you guys. The other one is your assignment. It gets submitted right here. And again, you can see the due date, Friday, May 15th at 11 a.m., just like all due dates that we have. Did anybody have any trouble downloading the information? Or do you feel like you guys, give me a thumbs up if you're good. That way I know that we're all on the same page here. All right, looks like most of you are okay. All right, so when you download this information, this is what you're gonna get. You should have this document. Jason, what are you seeing on your screen? Make sure that.
I can see the PowerPoint.
Okay, so it's like pink and white?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So you should have that. And then the other thing is going to look really familiar because it's kind of what we did last week, just the information is different. You should have this thing where you can type directly into it. Jason, do you see that?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. Last week we talked about forms of government. What are some of the different governmental types that we talked about? Anybody share a type of government that they learned about?
Like
Monarchy.
Theocracy.
Okay, one at a time, guys. Who was that said monarchy?
Me, Robbie.
Robbie, what's a monarchy?
Monarchy is basically where a country is ruled by one leader, or maybe more, but
Okay.
it's mostly ruled by one leader that is in control of things, and it's not elected. It is basically born into the.
Okay, so it's heredity, right?
Yes.
It's okay. What's the other type of government that's ruled by one person, where it's a little nastier, I guess?
A dictatorship.
A dictatorship. Jason, what's the difference between a dictatorship and a monarchy? How is power transferred?
A dictatorship is like, dictatorship power is being forced, like, to the guy, like, a guy takes over the government.
Okay, so force.
But a monarchy, it's this guy is the government.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. You then have democracy. What is democracy? Nate, I see your hand up. Do you have a question? No? Can somebody tell me what a democracy is from last week?
A democracy is like ruled by the citizens in the country.
Okay, it means rule by the many. There are two types of democracies. Can anybody tell me what one of the two types is?
There is direct
Okay.
democracy, which is you vote directly.
Okay, so the people make all the decisions themselves.
And the representative is a democracy where people vote for people to vote for them.
Okay, which one do we do in this country for the most part? Representative. Although we do have some aspects of direct democracy because they let citizens vote on laws and different things. What's a theocracy? Does anybody remember what that means?
I do.
A theocracy is where a country is ruled by religion. It's also a oligarchy.
Okay. What's an oligarchy mean?
Oligarchy is where it's ruled by a few.
A few. In this case, a theocracy would be ruled by like the church or the religion, right? You guys remember what a single party state is?
Can I answer?
Yes, you can. Thank you, Riley.
So it's a country where there's only one political party that dominates over all the other parties, and while some other parties can run, most of the time they won't get into the presidency.
Yeah, China would be an example. Cuba would be an example. Excellent, Riley. And then we also talked a little bit about a junta, which is a military dictatorship. What we're going to talk about today, guys, is a little more confusing, but it goes along with forms of government. We're going to talk about something called systems of government. A system of government is, let's see if I can get this to do what I want. A system of government is how is power actually exerted in a society. So will somebody read what a system of government is? Which is right here. Let me see if I can get this to flip. It won't do it. Abby, can you, whoa, there it goes. Hold on, there we go. Abby, my young friend, can you unmute yourself, kiddo? Can you read what a governmental system is right here?
A governmental system is a way of carrying out decisions throughout a country.
Keep going.
This is a very different form. A form?
This is very different from.
Oh, from a form of government.
A form of government is who or what is in charge. A king, a dictator, an elected official. A system is how are decisions carried out. You're going to recognize some of these words. Federal, confederal, unitary we haven't talked about yet. So what a system of government is, once you decide who's in charge, how do they actually go about carrying out the laws? That's what a system of government is. And you have a really nice graphic over here that kind of explains it, but I'm going to go into more detail about that in just a moment here. So we're going to talk about what a federal government is, a confederal government, and what a unitary government is. All right. So a federal system, can I have a volunteer? Sammy, you've been volunteered. Can you read what a federal system is, this right here?
A system of government in which power is divided between a national and regional governments. Do I keep reading that one?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. In a federal system, the central government and the regional government, states, provinces, departments, counties share power.
All right, excellent. Thank you, Sammy. I appreciate it. Guys, this is what we do in this country. We have a federal system. That's why they call it the federal government. And we went over this a lot when we were in class. We divide our country up into these things called states. It makes it easier to run the country. So we have a national government. Where is our national government based out of, Shannon?
Oh, hi.
Where would our national or federal government be based out of? Where are they located?
Washington, D.C.
Washington, D.C. Perfect. And then we have these mini governments. We call them states. Where is our state government based out of?
Tallahassee.
Tallahassee. Perfect. States then make laws, but only for the states. And then we break the states up even further. What is the smallest unit, Christian, that we have in this country? What's the smallest unit of government that we have?
It's
county.
counties, I'm pretty sure.
I called on Christian.
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah,
All right, I'm pretty sure it's counties.
county.
Am I correct?
Right.
All right,
You are right.
thank you.
When we do this, when we break it up into states and the national government and the county governments, they have a word for that. It's just simply called the federal system. And you see here, there are some pros and cons, which I'm not going to go into just this second because that's what you guys are going to be doing. But I do have a picture. You guys remember this? Like things the national government can do and things the states can do. This is called the federal system. Federal systems tend to work really well with really big countries. You have the national government. When the national government makes a law, it affects everybody. But then you have states that can kind of do their own thing to an extent. And we're seeing that right now with this coronavirus. Different states are opening up at different times. Why is that?
Because they're allowing
Because-
more things to happen.
Because some states have more coronavirus than others.
Yeah. So a federal system allows different states to kind of look at their situation and make decisions based on it. That's one of the benefits of having a federal system. One of the downsides of a federal system is when you go from state to state, what's going to change?
Laws.
Laws. All the laws change. I'll give you an example. You guys are taking civics right now because in the state of Florida, the government has mandated that all kids take civics in the 7th grade. What might happen if you move to Connecticut?
You
They
might
might be
have to.
completely different.
Yeah, they might have a completely different track.
As children will not learn civics.
Maybe they do, maybe they don't, maybe they have a different class, who knows. But that's what a federal system is. Now, this federal system tends to work really well with democracies. So each citizen in each state gets to pick the government that works best for them. That's what a federal system is. But it's not the only way of doing things. Where have you guys heard this word before? Confederal or confederacy?
The
Like,
Confederate
I
power.
Heard it. It's like during Civil War era.
Okay, so the Civil War, you've heard of that, but what was the name of our first constitution in this country? Do you guys remember?
The Articles of Confederation.
The Articles of Confederation. Robbie, can you read what a confederal system is?
Yes. A confederal system is a hold on a second. Okay, a system of government in which power resides in the region, which are independent states. The central government gets power from regional governments.
So a confederal system is the exact opposite of this. In a federal system, think of a pyramid. National government has all the power, then the states or provinces or departments, whatever you want to call them, and then your local governments. A confederal system is the exact opposite. The individual parts have more power. So in a confederal system, the states actually tell the national government what to do. And you'll see that in the pros and cons when you guys go through this on your own. And like we said, the Articles of Confederation, we attempted this once. Why did this not work out for our country?
It's because we did not give a lot of power to the central government, and everything just crumbled.
Okay, so what were some of the problems, the specific problems that we ran into? Wyatt, I see your hand up.
Okay, so the government wasn't getting enough money, so they didn't have a military, and then states started to fight each other, I believe.
Okay, so there were arguments. The national government had no power to collect taxes. There was no military. What else could states do when it came to money?
Oh, they can make their own money.
Each state made their own money. It just made it a mess, didn't it?
Yes.
So confederacies tend not to work well with really big, diverse countries. Small countries, you can do a confederacy. Switzerland is a confederacy. Belgium has a confederacy. It works for them. They're small countries. Each region kind of runs its own affairs. That's what a confederation is. The other way of dividing up your country is called a unitary system. What is the word uni, or the prefix uni?
One.
So in a unitary system, do you think the government chops itself up into states or provinces? No. So will somebody read the definition of what a unitary system is?
I'll do it.
All right, thank you, Jason. I appreciate it.
A system of government in which power is centralized in the national government. Regional governments only exercise powers given by the national government.
So in a unitary system, the national government has all the power, all the authority. There are some good things and some bad things about this. One of the good things, and you see here, every part of the country has the exact same laws and exact same policies. That makes it very easy to govern. If you're traveling throughout the country, you don't have to worry about laws changing. The schools are the same. The downside, if you have a big country that has a very diverse population, maybe different areas of the country need different things, you don't have those local governments to be able to effectively change things. Typically, unitary systems are used by monarchies. They're used by dictatorships. Why would a dictator prefer a unitary system over, let's say, a confederal system?
Because he has no power.
What would be, why would a dictator like Jason a unitary system?
Because the dictator would have no power. There
No,
was
he would have the exact opposite. He would have total power, wouldn't he?
no, but you want to use it, so because in the other ones, in the other things, like Confederal,
Okay, in a confederal system, let's say I'm the dictator, but then
he
we
would
have
have
a
no
bunch of
power.
states, and those states actually have more authority than I do. Would that work?
To put it,
No.
it's based. So basically, at that point, the dictator is the central government, and it's a lot easier to control one.
Yeah. So
Like
in a
group
unitary
than-
system, a king or a queen or a dictator wouldn't have anybody challenging their power. That's why you see, like North Korea has a unitary system, for example. If they did a confederal system, the individual governors of the individual states would have more power. If somebody has more power than the dictator, is he actually a dictator?
No.
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 So these are the three systems
No.
of government. Unitary,
He's being overrun.
he'd be overrun. Confederal and federal. The United States does this. It works for us. We're a big country. Different areas of the country have different needs. It allows local people some control. We experimented with a confederal system. It didn't work out. We learned about that a lot earlier in the year. And then this unitary, and again, you see the pros and cons here. A unitary system just means one central government. Now understand, with these systems, you can mix and match them with the forms of government that we learned. So you can have a theocracy that is a federal system. You can have a direct democracy that is a confederal system. You can have a military dictatorship that is a unitary system. So these systems are just the way the country is divided up and how power is carried out. That's all they are. And so you see here, here's a picture of what a unitary government is. We have a picture of Robbie, he's flexing. In a unitary government, strong national government, and then the states are either really weak or they don't exist. Does that make
Me,
sense?
I'm strong.
They're sticks.
They're sticks. We got Robbie here.
Me, I'm strong.
The rest of you
Stick
guys are-
brittle. Stick breaks.
All right. You then have these things called economic systems. An economic system is the way that we produce goods and services and distribute them. And there are three types that you need to know about: market, command, and traditional, okay? A market economy. This is what we do in the United States. Beck, can you read just the definition here of what a market economy is?
An economic system that relies mainly on markets to determine what goods and services to produce and how.
This is what we do here. Thank you, Beck. I appreciate it. We allow people to own their own businesses. Most businesses are privately owned, not publicly owned. The government does not own businesses. So Publix, McDonald's, Home Depot, Apple Computers. Does the government in this country run those companies? Or do people run those kind of companies?
People.
People. What was that?
The sound of capitalism sounds evil.
Yeah. So a market economy is more commonly referred to as capitalism. You may have heard that word before. Now, this doesn't mean that the government's not involved at all. The government does collect taxes. Does the government put restrictions on some of these private companies? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah, they do. What would be a restriction that maybe the government would put on a coal-burning power plant?
You can only burn this much coal a day or a week.
And why would they put that restriction on them?
They don't want to suck out the supply of coal.
Okay, so maybe you burn through your country's supply of coal, but what do coal-burning power plants give off?
Pollution.
Pollution. So the government
Very, very bad pollution.
Yeah, so the government may step in and put restrictions, but in general, in a market economy, the people are free to open businesses, buy, sell, and trade with each other. That's what we do here. So if you wanted to open up your own sandwich shop, go for it.
There's a side product for power plants, and they use it to create plaster for walls.
Okay, I didn't know that. There are other ways of running your country, though. You have something called a command economy, or sometimes it's referred to as communism. Adam,
Yay.
can you read what a command economy is, this definition here?
Me?
You're Adam.
Yeah.
Okay. A command system is all right, an economic system that relies mainly on the central government to determine what goods and services have to produce and how.
Okay.
Pros can ensure full employment, can control prices, and bring stability to the economy and distributes income more equally. Cons, workers have little incentive to work hard or produce quality goods and government planners and are less efficient than the market at making economic decisions.
All right. Thank you, Adam. So a command economy is the exact opposite of a market economy. In a command economy, everything is owned communally, meaning it's run by the government. That's where the word communism comes from. So if you look over here
Yay.
on the right-hand side, in a command economy, usually what you have is a group within the government, a central planning committee, decides what to produce, how much to produce, and who gets it. So in a communist society, there are no private businesses. Everything is owned and operated by the government, and the government decides how much everybody gets. And there are pros and cons to that. Pros, everybody has a job. The government guarantees it. There's no unemployment, or very little. They control prices. There's no homeless people usually in a command economy because the government guarantees housing. The downside is, if you have an idea and you want to open up a store, in a command economy, are you allowed to do so?
No.
No, you're not, because it doesn't fit into what their plan is. Also, if they plan out the economy a year or two in advance and just natural situations change, are they able to adapt really quickly?
Probably not.
No. So in a command economy, you tend to have lower standards of living. The last thing that we're going to learn here is what's called a traditional economy. This is an economic system.
Is it just me
Where-
or did you freeze?
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
That's for me too.
He's freezing.
Oh yeah, your entire face just froze and then
You're
it was
having like spikes.
Yeah.
What a frosty boy.
Whoa, guys, you're all talking. What's going on?
Well, you're like freezing and stuff, like,
I am?
and we can't hear you. Yeah,
Yeah.
Can
and
you
some
hear me
like
now?
it's just
I don't know if
yeah.
it's my connection.
It's
I'm
just
sorry.
sometimes. I don't know.
Okay. So the last
That's
one is a tradition. Can you
Okay.
guys hear me? Robbie, you got to get rid of the video, buddy.
got it.
A traditional economy, these are like hunter-gatherer societies where people basically just provide for themselves, barter, and trade with each other. So you see here the definition: an economic system in which decisions about what goods and services to produce and how they are made are on the basis of tradition. And you don't see a lot of modern societies do this. The Inuit, the Eskimos of Canada, of Greenland, still do this. Native American societies would do this. Okay, here's what you guys are going to do. So you've learned 6 new terms. All right?
Yes.
Federal, confederal, unitary, market, command, traditional. All I want you guys to do, I'm going to do a new share. You should have this document, okay? We're going to do the first one together, and then I'm going to put you guys in the breakout room. Robbie, the
Yes.
first thing we want is federal. What would be a kid definition of a federal system of government?
That would be more like divided between like other people, so that it's not just other powers.
When you have a federal system, you have a national government, and then what is it carved up into?
Into other like
Somebody
government
hop in and help them out.
shared powers. Yes.
Power is divided between a national government and what?
State.
states, or provinces? Okay.
In counties.
What would be in counties, or whatever you want to call them? What would be an example country of a federal system?
God bless America.
United States. Why does a federal, or why do federal systems work really well for large countries? Like ours. Why do we have states? Why do that?
Because different parts of the countries have different needs, and the states can determine what those needs are.
Perfect. Because a large country...
Like Florida and oil.
Yeah. Because different parts of a large country have different needs, and states can best determine what those needs are. Perfect. That's a perfect definition. Thank you, Jason. What's a big problem with with a federal system? What happens when you go, like I used the example of schools earlier. What changes between state to state?
Money.
Well, no.
No.
So you're a kid, I think, and you move to a different state. What might be a problem?
Ooh, schools, like
Okay.
what they teach you.
Okay. So what changes from state to state? Not just schools, but what are those things that govern us?
The education system.
Yeah. Starts with an L.
Learning.
What is it?
Literature.
Laws.
Literature.
No.
Laws.
Laws can
LOL.
change from region to region, making it, can it be confusing?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to put you guys into breakout rooms
No.
where you guys are going to work on these. It shouldn't take you very long. This assignment is due. Emma, can you tell me when this assignment is due?
What does it do, Emma? What does it do?
Free day.
Or Reagan, can you help her out? When is this assignment due?
Friday.
This assignment will be due Friday. I'm going to go ahead and open up breakout rooms. Guys, I'll leave them open for about half an hour. This is your chance to go in and get some of this stuff done, okay?
I'm gonna get this done in like a few minutes.
Yeah, it shouldn't take you long. Guys, join your breakout rooms, please. Kylie, did you get a breakout room? Mirica, did you get a breakout room? Girls? Kylie, did you get a breakout room? Thank you.
Hi, Mr. Mellum.
What's up,
That's
guys? All right, so we got
Hello.
let's do one together. I want to make sure this is a pretty smart group of kids here.
You're purple, Mr. Mellum.
I'm sorry?
Miss
You're
Mom, you're
purple.
purple.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Light that's coming in.
You're
Oh.
Thanos. You're a grape.
I'm a grape.
Daniel's like,
A very
Yeah.
angry grape with a very nice rock
All
collection.
right, let's get to
Or an
work.
cool.
eggplant.
That sounds nice.
Eggplant wizard. All right.
Yeah.
So let's look at our paper here. Can you
We're
guys
on
see mine?
Confederal.
Yeah, you're on the next
Yes,
one.
sir.
So somebody give me a
Monetary.
good working definition of a confederal system.
States
Robot.
very independent.
Who is making that noise? Is that me?
It's
That's
no,
Adam.
it's Adam's
Adam,
mic.
can you not do that anymore, please?
Do what?
Well, no, it's his mic. It's just his mic glitching out. He can't
Oh,
he
okay.
can't control
Or
that.
Adam's a robot and he just doesn't want to
Beep
tell us.
boop. Beep,
Yes, it's
boop.
possible I am a robot.
All right. Can somebody
Well, that's
give me a
very cool.
definition of a confederal system?
A system that makes states really independent.
Okay.
That's what it is in a nutshell, right?
Kind of. A system in which the parts have
I
more
haven't eaten breakfast.
power than who?
Then the actual government, or am I reading that
What's
wrong?
the actual government? They're all
Like
governments.
not like the state government, but
What's-
like the federal government,
Okay, the national government.
national, yeah.
There you go. How would I get an example country?
You could say the early US.
Well, a current country.
Oh.
What would I need to use to find that?
Wait, what was the
You
advantage?
stated Belgium, so
I did say that, but you're going to trust me?
yes.
Oh, okay.
Belgium is one of them.
So for these example countries, guys,
Germany.
here's what you do. All right. So we go to.
Yeah, but what's the advantage to having a confederal system?
We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh, I thought we did.
So confederal. So when you're looking for examples, you see Belgium right here. So when you do an example, just look up what country has a confederal system, what country has a unitary system. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
So we're going to do Belgium. Now, what's an advantage of a confederal system? If you guys look at the presentation, notice that what did I put on here? Besides a definition.
Pros and cons.
Pros and cons. All you need to do is read through this and put it in your own words. So what's an advantage of a confederal system? Reagan, can you read this?
All right. Pros allows regional governments to unite for some purposes without giving up the power to run their own affairs, and gives regional governments flexibility to meet local needs, prevents rise of an authoritarian central government.
Let's put that into kid words. What's a benefit to having a confederal system?
States become very independent.
It prevents like a dictatorship.
Perfect. I'm just going to combine those. Who was that? Who said that?
Fans.
What?
Is that Miss Callahan?
That is me. Yes.
It is. You're talking. That's good.
Who's that?
All
I
right.
don't know.
What's a disadvantage of a confederal system? Think about the articles. Think about the Articles of Confederation. What were some of the problems with it?
Well, it didn't work out.
Why?
The central government would have floppy arms.
Okay,
Well,
let's
that's
put this into actual words here.
The central government will have almost no power.
And what's wrong with that? Would laws be different in every single section of the country? Yes or no?
Yes.
Which would make it confusing, right?
I'm just gonna write yeah.
Guys, I'm gonna hop out. I'm gonna keep this room open until 10 o'clock. So this is your chance. Get your work done so you don't have anything else to do for
Don't
civics
you
today.
think third? Oh,
All right?
yes.
Wait, is this all we have to do all week?
No.
Okay.
Good job.
Also,
'Cause
I-
this-
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can.
All right, so where are we at? I need anybody who's muted, you should not be muted at all.
We're on the
What are we working on?
Confederal.
We're finishing up Confederal.
Yeah.
Okay, what did you guys say? What was the kid definition that you came up with a confederal system?
States have power over the central government.
Perfect. Did you guys find an example country?
We put Canada.
No, Canada is not a confederal system.
What about Switzerland?
Switzerland would be one. Here, let me show you my screen. So I searched countries with Confederate government. Yeah, Canada's not one. Belgium is one, though. You could use Belgium. Switzerland is one. They're on the list.
Okay.
Okay. What's a disadvantage or an advantage of having a confederal system?
For an advantage, we put allows regional governments to unite for some purposes without giving up the power to run their own affairs.
Okay, so they can kind of run their own affairs. What's a disadvantage of having a confederal system? Think about the Articles of Confederation and why it didn't work out.
It's kind of.
I don't think we've.
I'll let Beck answer that. Sorry about that.
Oh, I was just saying, I don't think we have it yet. I don't know if you have it, Christian. But...
Beck, what was the reason that you guys came up with that Confederacy might not be good? What's a disadvantage?
Well, I was writing the part down. It was in the notes. I haven't finished it yet, but it said allows regional governments to unite.
What would be a con though? What's a downside?
Oh, okay.
So think about the Articles of Confederation. What were some of the problems with it?
Yeah, central government may be too weak.
Beck,
huh?
I'm just asking you a straight question. What were some of the problems with the Articles of Confederation?
I remember. Yeah, it was too weak.
What was too weak?
I don't know.
Kylie, can you help him out? What were the states allowed to do that created such a problem for them when they set up the country the first time?
The states were allowed to make their own money.
Okay, and why was that an issue?
Because the federal government couldn't, it was harder for them to collect taxes and stuff like that because they were all in different, they all costed different, you know?
They all costed
Yeah.
different? You mean they all had
because,
they all had their own currency? Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah.
Or you could say they all costed different.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So in a confederacy, one of the problems is that the individual parts have too much power, which means laws are going to be different from every single state. And as Kylie just said, in our own case, when we had the Articles of Confederation, each state could make their own money. That became a big problem, didn't it? Imagine traveling from state to state and you needed different currency to buy things. Would that be an issue?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna hop out, guys. I'm gonna leave the room up until 10. This is your chance to get your work done, okay?
Okay.
All right, guys.
Of having a confederal system. I don't know. I've got to check.
Where are we at, guys?
We're going pretty slow. Oh, I can't find it now.
Unitary, but I'll live there.
One at a time. Wyatt, where are we at?
Okay.
Oh, I got it now.
Unitary. I'm on Unitary. I think they're on
We're going on to unitary right now.
Okay, let's do unitary as a team. Okay? Can somebody tell me what a good, can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
What's a good definition for a unitary government? Look at the slideshow. It's a government that's not chopped up into what?
Pieces.
What do we call those pieces?
Regional government.
Regional governments, or what do we call them in the United States?
States.
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 So a unitary government is any country that is not carved up into what?
States.
States or
Pieces.
provinces or regional governments. So let's get a definition. Can somebody give me a definition for unitary?
The power is centralized.
Okay, power is centralized.
And then, wait, that's like copying though.
No, what? What do we not have in a unitary system?
No divided power.
Power, or what do we call those things?
States.
What do we call them?
States.
Perfect. How would I find an example country of a unitary system?
I looked it up and I found Spain.
Unitary.
Yeah, you just search what country has a unitary system.
I found Spain.
Spain does? Okay. Know that.
Yeah, I looked it up. It's Spain.
Why would a dictator...
What can we put for the last one for example?
Well, let's do this one right here. Can you guys see my screen?
Yeah.
Why would a dictator most likely prefer a unitary system of government? I actually said this when I was lecturing.
Oh, because they would have full power.
Full power over the what?
Everything.
Let's look at this one. What challenges would a unitary system face? A very large, one of you guys is making a lot of noise.
That's true.
Banging on your computer. What challenges would a unitary system face if a very large, diverse country attempted to use it? So think about the United States. Are we a big country?
Yeah.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
Yeah, we got like 340 million people here. Why would a unitary system, one set of laws for the whole country, maybe not work?
Because it won't fit the needs.
It won't fit the needs. So I've used this example so many times in class. Do we have laws in Florida that don't exist in Wyoming?
Yeah.
Like what?
What
would be a law in Florida that you would not have because you wouldn't need it in Wyoming? Abby?
Education is different.
Okay, so laws, what are some laws about beaches that we have?
Don't hit manatees.
Don't hit manatees, okay. Why do they, I don't know if they have that at the beach, but lakes and rivers. So they have boating laws, right? Why do they not have those same laws in Wyoming?
Because there's no beaches. Is there beaches there?
In Wyoming?
I don't know.
Do you know where Wyoming is?
No.
You don't know where Wyoming is? Can I show you?
Dude, I've been there. I've been there.
You've been there?
Isn't it in the middle?
40 states, Mr. Mellum.
Can you see my, Abby, can you see my screen?
Yeah.
Can you see it? Okay, I want you to tell me why Wyoming doesn't have any beaches.
It's in the middle.
Okay, it's in the middle. So back to our question here. What problems would a unitary system have in a country like the United States if we tried to do that?
Our needs are different than their needs.
Okay, needs of different areas are too different for a, can we say like one size fits all approach?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what that means?
Yes.
What?
Like one thing would like fit everybody's needs.
Exactly. It's just like in school. Is every class run the exact same way?
No.
Why not?
Because people learn at different paces.
People learn at different paces, teachers teach differently, the subject is different. So maybe like what I'm doing in civics would not work for math and vice versa. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
We have some laws that are the same, some rules that are the same, but not all the time. All right, I'm gonna hop out. Guys, you got about 10 minutes. Just keep at it, okay?
Mr. Mellum,
What?
what would be an example for confederal?
Switzerland.
Switzerland?
Or Belgium.
Okay.
Do Belgium, it's easier to spell.
Yeah, that's what we.
Example country. So
Magic.
I don't know.
I think I'm magic.
How can a market economy lead to a large?
Guys, your camera's got to go off.
Well, if my camera goes off, it's gonna be like this.
Fine. You're not supposed to have any pictures at all.
Okay.
So where are we at?
Right now we're at market economy.
Okay. Do you guys need help, or can I help you at all?
Kind of.
I'm
yes.
making sure that you guys understand. Can you see my screen?
We need help working together.
Robbie, you got to get rid of your picture, buddy.
I have to like leave the entire thing
You're gonna have to.
for that to.
No, you don't.
Here.
You just
I can
press,
just turn on.
press the three dots, and then press like change. Press edit profile picture, and then you can change it and turn it off.
Here, I can just start my video and then like cover the camera. Like.
Yeah, that's fine. Put tape over it or something. All right.
I will.
So you guys are here on market economy?
Yeah.
Yes? No?
Yeah.
No? Okay. So what's a good definition for a market economy?
We're on a market economy right now.
Yeah. What's the definition for a market?
To determine goods.
The control of what is produced.
Okay.
Or private markets determine what goods and services are made.
How does that work? Private companies or private markets determine what is produced. What would be an example, Gabe?
Like Walmart. Oh wait, did you ask Gabe?
Yeah, I asked Gabe.
Oh, sorry.
Gabe, what would be an example country that does a market economy?
Wally World.
Gabe?
Walmart. No.
Gabe, what's a country where people are allowed to open their own businesses?
America.
Oh, the U.S.
Yeah, there you go. You live in it.
America.
All right, so for these two, you guys are going to have to use the pros and cons that I put in. So this first one, how can this lead to large concentrations of wealth? Think about like Amazon and Apple.
Oh yeah, Bezos is like the most richest person in the world because like his private company is used like a lot.
Okay.
But then some companies like Zary Brothers, my dad's own company, he doesn't really have a lot of customers. So
what's happening right now? Let's think about what's going on in the world right now. What's happening to a lot of smaller businesses?
Smaller businesses are shutting down now.
Why?
Because of the coronavirus, and people are scared of it. So
why isn't United Airlines or Ford Motor Company, why aren't they shutting down?
Because they're so rich already.
So they're able to survive stuff like this. So what happens in a market economy is if somebody is able to get a lot of wealth, they can very easily turn that into even more wealth. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I'm gonna bounce around here and check on the other groups. This will be closing down in about 6 minutes, okay, guys? And again, you are not allowed to show videos. Got it?
Yes.
And did you check the main breakout group?
We're doing okay, Ms. Troy?
Yep, we are almost done.
Okay. I'm gonna leave it open until 10 so they can work until then.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. Thank you.
Uh-huh.
The state of Florida, I'd buy the entire state of Florida.
How are we doing, guys?
We're on economy.
The first one, market?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Were you guys able to get the other ones done? No problem?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Did you need any help with any of them?
From each other, yes, somewhat.
No, I'm asking, did you need any help?
Oh, yeah.
Meaning like
I
you got
need
stuck
help on
behind-
how can a market economy lead to large concentrations of wealth?
So this
Oh,
right
David,
here.
I got that one.
Justin, you think you have that?
Yeah, I have it.
What did you put?
I put competition keeps prices from going too high, and investments keep prices. Wait, no, and investments keep the economy good.
Okay, let me ask you a question. What do larger companies sometimes do to smaller companies?
They're like, I
Take
don't
them
know.
over.
They what?
They might take them over.
Yeah, they might. So let me ask you this. So let's say you have, on the one hand, Home Depot, and then on the other hand, a little tiny shop that's owned by Mr. and Mrs. Smith that sells tools. Who's going to win this competition?
Home Depot.
Why is Home Depot going to be able to outperform Mr. and Mrs. Smith's?
It's a well-known company.
Do what?
Because they're like a big.
They're well-known.
Okay, they're well-known, but are they able to sell their stuff cheaper?
Yeah, because they're a big corporate company.
Yeah, they can get it cheaper from whoever the manufacturer is, which means if I'm selling a hammer and Mr. and Mrs. Smith's shop is selling a hammer and I want to run them out of business, what do I have to do?
Buy it from Home Depot.
No, I am Home Depot.
Oh.
I'm Home Depot. Justin, you have a little tiny shop. I want to put you out of business. How can I do it really easily?
You sell it cheaper.
I sell it cheaper. And then you go out of business. I no longer have any competition. What can I then do?
Right, raise the prices.
I can lower my prices to get rid of you, and then once you're gone.
Raise them. Yeah.
Does that answer this question?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So I would say too much competition can lead to large companies, what? Putting small companies out of business?
Yeah.
Yeah. Think about like Jeff Bezos. How much money is that guy worth?
Like 130 billion?
Something like that. Some ridiculous amount, right?
Yeah.
Because Amazon can sell to anybody, anytime, anywhere, and do it cheap. Could I, if I opened up my own online store, am I going to be able to compete with that guy?
No.
No. I can work for him. And then let's do the, do you think a market economy should have restraints? Yes or no? Do you think we should let people just produce whatever they want, however they want? Or should there be laws somewhat restricting that?
There should be laws restricting them.
Okay, so you just said yes. Why? What would happen if I just let a factory do whatever it wanted to do?
Well, then they might like they could mess something up,
Okay, what
and
would
like
let's
it could end up being a hazard.
okay, what sort of what is a factory? Oh, let's say it's a car factory, okay?
Okay.
So they're making cars. That's a good thing. They're employing people. That's a good thing. What's a byproduct, though, of making cars that's not good?
Like the gas emissions and all that
We call that what?
on fossil fuels.
What is that called when you put bad things into the environment?
Pollution.
Pollution. So if these large companies did not have restrictions on them, what could they do?
They could
What
just like
would they
pollute
probably do?
however much they want.
Yeah, companies could pollute. What else could they do? Are there laws that say you have to pay workers a certain amount?
Yeah.
Yes.
Why? Why do we have those laws? What would a
So
big
that
company
people
maybe try to do if those laws weren't there?
they would try to pay their workers like a little amount, or not pay them at all.
That's why we have those laws. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and bounce out, guys. It's 10 o'clock. We're gonna stop. Have a good afternoon.
Yeah.
Bye. You too.
Bye.
All right, guys, we're gonna go ahead and stop there. If you don't have any more questions, you are free to go. Enjoy your day.